Today, children, I will start with the explanation of Act 1, Scene 1 from The Merchant of Venice. Now, in short, this scene opens with Antonio, who is shown to be in a very sad mood for some unknown reason. His friends suggest different reasons for his sadness, and they try to bring him out also from that sad state, but it is useless. Then his dearest friend Bassanio comes and he expresses his desire to win Portia, who is a very rich and noble lady living in Belmont. Bassanio had already spent all his money and had started borrowing from others, particularly from Antonio. Now he is again here to ask for a loan from Antonio so that he could go to Belmont and visit Portia and prove himself a worthy suitor to her. But at that moment, Antonio is not able to help Bassanio because he did not have money and all his ships were still at sea. But he advises Bassanio to take a loan to borrow money from some other money lender in Venice using his good name as credit. That is, if Bassanio was not able to repay the money, then Antonio would do that for him. Antonio would repay the money, he would be the guarantor. Now I will start the explanation. Act 1, Scene 1. It is taking place in Venice, a street. The scene is taking place on a street in Venice. Venice is a beautiful city in Italy. It is near the sea, and as it is a low-lying area, that is, its height is below sea level, the sea water has entered most of the areas. So Venice is all covered with water, and instead of roads, there are canals where beautiful boats called gondolas are used to travel from one place to another. So enter Antonio, Salarino, and Salanio. So Antonio and two of his friends meet and they have a conversation. Antonio: in sooth, I know not why I am so sad. Now, Antonio starts a conversation by saying that in sooth means in truth, in reality, he himself does not know the reason why he is so sad. It wearies me, you say, it wearies you. This sad feeling depresses him as well as it depresses his friends also. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And Antonio says that how he got that sadness. Got it means how he got that sadness, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, what it consists of, what is the reason behind his sadness, whereof it is born. From whereof it is born means what is its origin, from where it has started. I am to learn. He himself has to learn. Learn means know. So Antonio himself does not know the reason why he is so sad. He wants to know the reason. And such a want which sadness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself. And then he says that sadness has made him such a want-wit. Want-wit means such a dull fellow, that I have much ado, that he has much ado means a lot of problem to know myself, to recognize himself. Know here means recognize. So Antonio says that sadness has made him such a dull fellow that he has trouble in recognizing himself because he never used to be so sad. Salarino: your mind is tossing on the ocean. Now Salarino says that your mind is at the sea. That is, he must be thinking of the sea. There were your argosies with portly sail. And why is Antonio thinking of the sea? Because his argosies means big, large merchant ships, were sailing laden with goods. They were filled with goods, and all his ships were coming from different directions. So Salarino says that maybe Antonio was thinking about his ships and was worried about them, and that is why he is so sad. Like seigneurs and rich burghers on the flood. Seigneurs and rich burghers. Seigneurs means gentlemen, and rich burghers means rich citizens of a city. Now, here Salarino has compared the large merchant ships with gentlemen and citizens of a city. Just as these rich people, rich citizens of a city move about in a very stately manner, in the same way, these large merchant ships were also sailing in the sea in a very stately manner. Or as it were, the pageants of the sea do overpeer the petty traffickers. And these big merchant ships, they were pageants of the sea. Pageants of the sea means they were beautiful exhibits, display of the sea, because they were beautifully decorated and they used to move in a line. It looked very beautiful in the sea. Do overpeer the petty traffickers. And when these large merchant ships moved, it seemed as if they looked over, they rose above the petty traffickers. Petty traffickers means the small boats that used to carry goods. So these big ships, big merchant ships, they it seemed as if they were ruling over the smaller boats. That courtesy to them do them reverence as they fly by them with their woven wings. And these small ships, ships or boats, they used to bow to the large merchant ships as if giving them respect. Reverence means respect. As they fly by means as they used to sail past with their woven wings. Woven wings here is referred to the canvas sails on the ship. Salanio. Believe me, sir, had I such venture forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. Now here Salanio, the other friend, he says that if he also had such venture means such business, that is, if his ships were also at sea, then the better part of my affections, that means most of his concerns or most of his thoughts would be at sea only, thinking about his ships only. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind. And what would he be doing always? Still means always. What will he always be doing? Plucking the grass to know where sits the wind. Now in olden days, children, people used to find out the direction of the wind by plucking some grass and throwing it into the air, and by the direction in which the grass used to blow, they used to know from which direction the wind was blowing. So here Salanio says that he would always be plucking grass to know from where the wind was blowing. Peering in maps for ports and piers and roads. And at the same time, what else would he be doing? He would be peering. Peering means looking in maps for ports and piers. Piers are harbors where these ships are tied up. And roads. Roads means channels of water. They used to look in the maps in order to find different ports, harbors and channels where their ships would land with their goods. And every object that might make me fear misfortune to my ventures, out of doubt would make me sad. And Salanio says that every object might create fear in him that would bring misfortune. Misfortune means bad luck or disaster to my ventures, to his business. Out of doubt would make me sad. And thinking about those objects, thinking about those things that can be a misfortune for his business, they can make him sad. Salarino. Now here Salarino mentions the various dangers at sea that can be harmful for ships. My wind cooling my broth would blow me to an ague, when I thought what harm a wind too great at sea might do. So Salarino here says, my wind means his breath, cooling my broth. Cooling his broth means soup. So his when he blows his breath upon his soup to cool it, would blow me to an ague. Ague means tremble. It would make him tremble to think what harm a strong wind at sea can do to a ship. So the first danger mentioned by Salarino is that there are strong winds at sea which can be very dangerous for ships. I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats. And then he says that the second danger that he mentions is that when he sees the sand running in the sandy hourglass. Sandy hourglass, children, is an instrument that was used in olden times to calculate time. And so when Salarino sees the sand running in the sandy hourglass, he thinks of shallows and flats. Shallows are shallow waters where the water is not very deep, and flats means sandbanks. And what happens when a ship reaches such a place where the water is not deep and there are sandbanks? The ship can get stuck in the sand. And see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand. And then what happens? Even a wealthy Andrew here is referred to a big merchant ship, and wealthy means which is laden with goods. So even a big merchant ship that is laden with goods can get stuck in the sand. Wailing her high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. And what happens when this ship gets stuck in the sand? The top of her mast is lowered even more than the sides, the ribs, that is the sides of the ship, as if the ship is kissing her burial. Burial means the sand which is burying her. Should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone and not bethink me straight of dangerous rocks? And then another danger mentioned by Salarino here is that if he goes to church and sees the holy edifice, edifice means building. So if he sees the holy building of the church which is made of stone, should he not bethink? Bethink means reminded. Straight means immediately. So should he, when he sees the stone building of the church, should he not be reminded immediately of the dangerous rocks at sea? Now these rocks at sea are also very harmful for the ships, which touching but my gentle vessel's side would scatter all her spices on the stream. So what happens when these rocks even touch the gentle vessels? Vessel here is referred to the ship. So when the rocks even touch the side of the ship, it can overturn the ship, and all the spices that the ship is carrying can be scattered on the stream, that is the sea. Enrobe the roaring waters with my silk. Enrobe means cover. Cover the roaring waters, the waves, with her silks. So we come to know that these ships mostly used to carry spices and silk, and whenever there was an accident, all these spices and silk used to scatter in the water, and it was a great loss for the merchants. And in a word, but even now worth this and now worth nothing. In a word means in short. So Salarino says that in short, it makes him think that at one moment he had so much, he was so rich with all the goods in his ship, and the next moment he had nothing because all his things, all his goods were scattered in the sea. Shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing bechanced would make me sad? Shall I have the thought? Here the meaning of thought is imagination. So here he says that if he has the imagination, if he can imagine that such things can happen at sea, then he can also imagine if such a thing really happened. Bechanced means happened, if such a thing really in reality happened, then how sad he will be. So just the imagination is making him sad. So what will happen? He will be so sad when such a thing happens in reality. But tell not me, I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise. So here then in the end Salarino says, tell not me, don't tell me. I know Antonio is sad. He says that he knows that Antonio is sad because he is thinking of his merchandise. Merchandise means goods. Antonio, believe me, no. Now here Antonio flatly refuses, flatly denies that he is sad because of his goods. I thank my fortune for it. He says that he thanks his fortune, his good luck for it. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place. And he says that my ventures, means his business, are not in one bottom. Bottom here is means ship. His business is not limited to just one ship. He had many ships, and not to one place also. He had ships coming from various different directions. Nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year. And then he says that his whole estate, that is his financial position, did not depend upon the business of that present year. Therefore my merchandise makes me not sad. So here Antonio clearly tells Salarino that he is not sad because of his goods. Salarino, why then you are in love? Then Salarino gives another reason that maybe Antonio then must be in love with someone. He must be missing someone, and that is why he is feeling so sad. Antonio, fie. So Antonio here clearly denies that reason also, and says that it is all nonsense. Fie is an expression of disgust, something when you use it when you are ashamed of something. So here Antonio clearly says that it is a nonsense and that he is not in love with anyone. Salarino, not in love neither. So Salarino says that reason is also not there. He is not in love also. Then let us say you are sad because you are not merry. So then Salarino says that then the only simple reason can be that you are sad, that Antonio is sad because he is not merry, he is not happy. And 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry because you are not sad. And it means it was easy for anybody to laugh and leap. Leap means jump about, to laugh and jump about and say that he is happy because he is not sad. So here Salarino just gives a simple reason that just as people are happy, they jump about and say they are happy because they are not sad. In the same way, we can say that Antonio is sad because he is not happy. Now by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. Now here Salarino mentions Janus. Janus is the two-headed Roman god of doors, who had two faces, one frowning and one smiling. So nature hath framed strange fellows means nature had framed. Frame means created strange fellows, strange men in her time. So just as Janus had two faces, one frowning and one smiling, nature has also created different strange fellows, different types of people. Some that will evermore peep through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper. And some people will evermore means always. Peep through their eyes means, now children, you must have seen when people laugh, what happens? There are wrinkles formed on their face, and their eyes also become narrow. So when here Salarino is trying to say that some people are laughing all the time. They are all the time laughing, and they laugh as foolishly as the parrots, who laugh even at a bagpiper. Bagpiper is a person who plays the bagpipe, a musical instrument, and it has a very shrill and very a sound that is not at all cheerful to hear. But parrots, they laugh even at the sound of a bagpipe. So here Salarino is trying to say that some people are so funny that they laugh even at very small things. Another of such vinegar aspect that they'll not show their teeth in way of smile. Other of such vinegar aspect means vinegar means sour, aspect means expression. And some people are of such sour expression, they are so serious that they will not show their teeth also through a smile. Though Nestor swear the jest be laughable, even though Nestor will swear that the jest means that the joke is laughable. Nestor, now here Nestor was an old and wise Greek general who fought in the Trojan War, and he also was considered to be a very serious person. But if a joke was really very funny, it made Nestor also laugh. So here Salarino is trying to say that there are some people who are even more serious than Nestor. They will not even smile even if the joke was very funny. Salanio. Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Gratiano and Lorenzo. So Salanio at that moment sees Bassanio, the closest friend of Antonio, coming with Gratiano and Lorenzo, two other friends. So he says that Bassanio is coming, and your most noble kinsman. Kinsman here means friend. The most noble friend of Antonio was coming, and together with Gratiano and Lorenzo. Fare ye well, we leave you now with better company. And then Salanio bids goodbye and wants to leave because now Antonio's close friend Bassanio had come. Salarino. I would have stayed till I had made you merry if worthier friends had not prevented me. So Salarino says that he would have stayed there till he had made Antonio happy. But as his worthier friends, that is Bassanio and the other friends, had arrived, they had prevented him, they had stopped him from doing that. So he also plans to go away from there.